Comment ça va? On va encore attendre quelques minutes, hein. Normalement, Jesper sera là dans 8 minutes. Tu m'entends, Stéphane? C'est la première fois que je fais un live comme ça sur mon téléphone, donc c'est un test. Salut Jai Frch, Frch, Frch. Vous m'entendez, les gars? Salut Fred. Dis donc, c'est toujours les mêmes, hein, comme je disais, hein, c'est toujours les mêmes. À force, je connais vos pseudos par cœur maintenant. Je sais directement qui sera là dans les premiers. Salut Antoine. Eh ben, dis donc, on a même le Québec qui est présent ce soir. Antoine, je crois que tu es du Québec, hein, si je ne m'abuse. Vous tracassez pas, Jesper devrait arriver dans les prochaines minutes, qui m'a dit sur Messenger qu'il sera là à l'heure, donc il ne devrait plus trop tarder. Malheureusement, il sera tout seul. Jens ne sera pas là, vu que la date là, ne correspondait pas, n'arrangeait pas Jens. Donc il y aura juste Jesper, donc je vous invite vraiment à lui poser vos questions directement sur le chat, hein. En anglais, si jamais vous voulez qu'il vous réponde directement, si vous parlez anglais. Sinon, posez vos questions en français et puis dans la mesure du possible, je lui traduirai et puis je lui demanderai de répondre et je vous traduirai sa réponse, voilà. Donc essayez d'être pas 15 à à poser des questions en même temps, parce que ça va être difficile à gérer sinon, mais bon. S'il y a que vous 4, ça devrait aller. Ça recommence de quoi? Qu'est-ce qui recommence, Fred? Ah, le «j'espère bien». Je viens seulement de le voir. Je viens seulement de le voir. C'est Stéphane, il est en forme. Ça va, Stéphane? T'as bien mangé? T'as fait peut-être un petit dodo avant? T'es en forme? Tu vas pouvoir animer la galerie? My name is Antoine, my English is very good. Ok, au moins, Antoine pourra directement s'exprimer en anglais. Stéphane, je sais que toi aussi, l'anglais, tu gères. Les autres, Jai et Fred, l'anglais, ça va avec vous? Enfin, de toute façon, je verrai bien. Si vous écrivez en français, je traduirai dans la mesure du possible. Je rentre seulement chez moi de réunion. T'as pas mangé, rien du tout, Stéphane? Pourtant, t'as l'air en forme. My English n'est pas very good. Bah écoute, si jamais ça ne va pas, Jai, n'hésite pas, tu poses des questions en français et puis je m'arrangerai pour lui traduire et puis te traduire ses réponses, hein. Dans la mesure du possible, évidemment. Donc on est 7 en ligne, hein, c'est pas mal. C'est Brian. Brian is in the kitchen. Ton chat s'appelle Brian, donc. Information importante. Ça va les gars, sinon? Vous avez passé une bonne semaine? J'en aurai que 2. Bah écoute, si tout le monde a déjà 2 questions, c'est déjà bien, hein. On n'a qu'1 heure devant nous, hein. Il est très, très pris, Jesper. Ça a été vraiment, difficile de l'avoir, donc 1 heure, c'est déjà pas mal, hein, donc si tout le monde a 2 questions, c'est bien, en fonction de ses réponses et cetera. Mais voilà, donc je ne sais pas en plus si vous avez vu la nouvelle, sur leurs réseaux sociaux, ils vont jouer au Wacken l'été prochain. Eh oui! Ah, il vient de m'envoyer un message, il sera là dans 2 minutes. Jesper sera là dans 2 minutes. Sinon, moi, de mon côté, c'est un petit peu la galère, hein, c'est le stress qui commence là. On est mi-décembre et j'ai toujours pas d'appartement, à Oslo. Je dois avoir libéré la maison dans 6 semaines. Je suis en train de vider la maison petit à petit. C'est déjà un cauchemar, je vous dis pas, mais j'ai pas d'appartement, donc j'ai réservé un Airbnb de manière temporaire là-bas et je continuerai mes recherches d'appartement, sur place. Donc je vais faire la route en voiture, avec mon chien, avec mes affaires, 17 heures de route, je crois. Je vais le faire en 2 jours sur 2 jours et j'ai déjà pris le ticket du ferry. pour aller du Danemark jusqu'à Oslo. Donc je serai sur place avec ma voiture, mes affaires dans ma voiture, j'aurai mon chien avec moi et puis sur place, donc je serai dans un Airbnb jusqu'à ce que je trouve un appartement, quoi. Donc ça va être un petit peu compliqué, mais bon, c'est le passage obligé. C'est passage obligé. Les meubles, la plupart est vendu, sinon, il y en a qui restent ici que la personne qui m'a racheté ma maison, voulait garder, donc voilà, je lui ai laissé, comme ça m'évite de vider la maison et puis les meubles, en fonction de ce que j'aurai comme appartement là-bas, c'est beaucoup des meublés qui se louent, donc on verra bien si je prends un meublé, un semi-meublé, sinon pas meublé du tout, bah, je rachèterai des meubles là-bas. Je ferai au petit à petit quoi, donc je vais être un petit peu comme un touriste, hein. Je vais vivre dans un Airbnb les premières semaines et puis voilà, je vais faire de mon mieux pour trouver un appartement le plus vite possible parce qu'à distance, c'est juste pas possible. Donc voilà. C'était une possibilité, ben, c'est une réalité maintenant. Je vais naviguer de Airbnb en Airbnb jusqu'à ce que je trouve mon appartement, donc ça va prendre quelques semaines. N'oublie pas au cas où je te prends ton Disma. Un vinyle, t'inquiète, un vinyle, c'est pas grand-chose, j'en ai 500, j'en ai vendu beaucoup, hein. J'en ai 500 à transporter, mais dans un premier temps, ils vont rester ici, chez un ami qui va les stocker. Parce qu'évidemment, vu que je fais le trajet en voiture, avec ma voiture, bah, je peux pas prendre tous mes vinyles, tous mes jeux de société et cetera. Donc tout ça va rester ici, chez un ami. Que je ferai rapatrier une fois que j'aurai mon appartement. Donc dans un premier temps, les vinyles, je les aurai pas avec moi malheureusement. Mais c'est pas grave, j'aurai mon PC avec ma musique en format numérique. Allez, il ne devrait pas tarder, en espérant que ça marche, hein. C'est la première fois que je fais un live comme ça. Je suis désolé, j'ai dû me mettre sur mon téléphone parce que sur le PC, j'ai pas moyen j'ai pas trouvé comment on fait pour amener un invité en fait dans le live. Donc je l'ai trouvé que sur le téléphone, donc je fais sur le téléphone, mais apparemment ça marche bien. J'espère juste que Jesper va pouvoir venir sans problème. On va bien voir, on va être fixé dans quelques secondes, je pense. Bon, il y a déjà des gens qui sont partis, qui se sont impatientés. On était 8, on n'est plus que 4. Ça va bien se passer. Il faut, de toute façon. Il faut. C'est calme au niveau des sorties, hein. Il y a pas de quoi faire des weekly, hein. Je surveille un petit peu ce qui se passe, mais il y a quand même quelques trucs, hein. Je vous ferai quand même une petite vidéo entre Noël et Nouvel An sur le best-of de décembre, de ce que j'aurais pu découvrir comme album et ce sera ma dernière vidéo, avant un bon moment. Potentiellement un, 2, voire peut-être plus au niveau des mois. Donc, pour répondre à ta question, Jai, je verrai. En principe, oui, mais malheureusement, ça va être une longue pause encore une fois, hein. Donc, je ferai de mon mieux pour reprendre la chaîne, bah, quand je serai chez moi, quoi. Parce qu'évidemment tout mon matos pour faire les vidéos et cetera, je les aurai pas avec moi dans le Airbnb, donc il faudra attendre que j'ai mon appartement, donc ça risque de prendre quelques temps. On verra bien, mais je serai de retour un jour ou l'autre. Quand? Je peux pas dire. Est-ce que ce sera en mars, avril, pour le printemps? Je sais pas. Mais vu que je compte aller au Inferno Festival à Oslo, forcément, hein, c'est en avril et j'y serai, bah, j'espère, filmer et puis vous faire peut-être mon retour au mois d'avril après avoir été au Inferno. Je vous ferai un beau petit documentaire sur le festival Inferno de Oslo. Donc, en tout cas, restez bien, à l'écoute, hein. Ne quittez pas la chaîne, restez bien à l'écoute. Je reviendrai de toute manière un jour, on va dire pour le printemps. Voilà. On va pas se voir pendant quelques mois les gars, mais tracassez pas, je serai de retour. Morgreinin, j'ai écouté, ouais, sans plus. Sans plus, parce que par contre, je suis tombé sur, 2-3 petits trucs de black metal atmo que je me suis mis de côté et ça va être sympa, hein. Je ferai un petit résumé, entre Noël et Nouvel An. Attendez-vous à la vidéo best of de décembre, entre Noël et Nouvel An, je pense, vers le 27. Le 27, 26, 27, 28, par là. Et puis il y a Insta, tout à fait, tout à fait. Il y en a quelques-uns avec vous qui ont m'envoyé des messages, pratiquement tous les jours, hein, surtout Stéphane, on s'écrit pratiquement tous les jours. Jai, on s'écrit régulièrement aussi, donc n'hésitez pas, hein. Prenez des nouvelles, je vous enverrai Je vous donnerai des nouvelles aussi, peut-être par le biais de photos sur Instagram, mais ça va se limiter à ça, je pense, je pense au mois d'avril. Donc le but pour moi, c'est vraiment de, voilà, de m'installer, trouver un appartement, vraiment bien m'installer et peut-être faire mon retour sur la chaîne par le biais d'une vidéo que j'aurais filmée, au Inferno Festival. Ce serait pas mal comme retour ça, hein? C'est parce que je suis amoureux. Ah, ton cœur est déjà pris, Stéphane! Aïe, aïe, aïe. Bon, il devrait plus trop tarder. Ouais, ça va pas être facile. Ça va être une période assez difficile, mais bon, c'est le but, hein, c'était le but du jeu. Changer de vie comme ça se fait pas en un jour, donc voilà. J'ai pris la décision de, bah, voilà, bah, je vais me battre pour y arriver et puis c'est tout, hein. Quand on veut, on peut. Mais en tout cas, quand je serai installé, les gars, ça va être bien. Ça va prendre du temps, mais ça va être bien. Quelle heure est-il? 20h03. S'il ne m'envoie pas de message pour me dire que voilà. Je pense Hey!
Again.
There he is, my
Yeah,
friend
sorry.
Jesper.
I tried to open the live thing here on my computer, and it only works on phones.
Exactly, so you get the same issue as me. I couldn't
Yeah.
do it on PC. I just don't get it because on Google they were giving the explanation to create it on the phone, but not on PC. I don't know, on PC
Yeah.
apparently it's not possible. I don't get it, but anyway, you can therefore you can lay on your couch, be you know
Yeah.
take a good rest and look, that's where I am on my couch, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm in my studio.
You're in your studio.
Yeah.
Nice. So, guys, you can see Jesper in his studio now live. Is it like an honor that we have? Guys, I present to you Jesper, so guitar player at Iotunn. So welcome, Jesper, and thanks a lot
Thank
for
you. Thank you
being
very
there.
much.
It's been a long time no see, man. It's been
Long
two
time no
years now.
see. Yeah,
2 years, man.
that's 2 years, right?
I think it was in October 2022 that we met in this little gig in the
The
Netherlands. I think
Netherlands.
think it was October 2022,
Yeah.
if I remember right. So yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit more than 2 years. And now you're gonna play at Wacken.
Oh yes.
So you move from
Yeah,
this
Wacken and Summer Breeze again. Second
and Summer
Summer
Breeze
Breeze.
again.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we just announced the John Smith Rock Festival in Finland today.
Oh, wow. So you have already 3 festivals
Yeah, and
planned for next summer.
we have Baden in Blut in Germany as well, and a new
Okay.
festival that Metal Blade Records are holding that is called Metal Forces in Hamburg. And then we have
Wow.
one in Norway, and more is coming.
I'll be there in Norway. I'll be there.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that because I will have to, I'm going to settle in Oslo and I'm taking my car to go there.
Yeah.
So I will cross all Denmark with my car, to go to take the ferry to go to
Yeah.
Oslo. So I don't know, maybe if we can grab a beer when I'm crossing Denmark with my car. I
Yeah,
don't know
let's
if
try.
you,
Let's try.
yeah, we can
And
discuss.
we're playing in southwest Norway on one evening, and then the day after we're playing in Oslo. So 2 Norwegian shows
Southwest,
next
or is it
summer.
in Bergen? In Bergen area or?
No, it's a place called Brynerocken. It's a very small, like local festival, and we played
Okay.
there this summer, and next year we're headlining.
You're headlining. Wow.
Yeah,
So in 2025 or 2026?
2025.
2025. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Well, the one in Oslo, obviously, I'll be there. So,
cool, man.
and I can see that SML is asking on the chat. Don't forget Alcatraz. You know Alcatraz Festival in Belgium.
Yeah.
Are you
I
already
think
in contact?
in general our booker is reaching out to like everything. So I think we will land quite a lot of festivals next year, but we will also work to land a lot of festivals in 26. And I hope that will be one of them during the next couple of years.
Because Alcatraz is a big one. Alcatraz
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really,
yeah.
really big.
And but then the whole booking business and so on is very weird in some ways. You can have festivals have a lot of interest one day, and then you just don't hear anything, and then all of a sudden you get an offer out of nothing from Wacken, or so it's we take what we can get. Yeah.
But it's Metal Blade is doing the work for you. They are organizing and booking everything, no? For your
Yeah, we
trips and
have
everything.
Doomstar Bookings and Metal Blade, but it's Doomstar Bookings who does the most. And of course, as we get bigger and because of the good hype around Kinship, there's been more interest.
What did I tell you 2 years ago?
Yeah, you
You
told us this would happen, but
you remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I didn't expect that it was going to be so quickly, but I told you one day you will headline festivals. Didn't I say it? So
yeah. Yeah, you did,
since
you
day
did.
one, I said Iotunn will be huge, and you will you will you will be the main event in festival, And
Yeah, yeah,
I said it. Remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's also our aim. We want to grow the band in that direction. So yeah.
You
But
deserve it
we're
because
having a live chat here.
kinship. Yes, yes, yes. Freda is from Sweden and ask if you're planning to go to Sweden Rock someday.
Yes, I know that our booker is in contact, and I know that there's interest from Sweden Rock. What it takes for them to come with a offer, I will see. But
Okay, so
we that's very high on our list to play at that festival for sure.
okay. So there's a hope. Anyway, Iotunn will tour the world, that's for sure. You're already going to Germany, you will go to Belgium, and people are asking, do you have dates in France already? Some towns in
We are
France.
working on different things tour wise, and it would be, if those things turn out to happen, I think it would be very weird if there weren't yeah, dates in France, and more of them, I think, than one.
Okay.
We get requests from a lot of countries now, and there's quite a lot of people from France writing us. So I
Yeah, but
think
that
yeah,
that
of course it will happen, but sometimes it's both a very fast business and a very slow business sometimes. But
it,
we will play in France during the next year or two, absolutely.
You will for sure. Yeah, but it's your fault. Well, if by putting such an incredible album, what did you think? Of course, it's
Yeah,
you put the bar even higher than with the first record. It's unbelievable. So
thank you.
I can announce you as well that Kinship is my album of the year.
Oh,
And
thanks, man.
I asked on my channel, on the comment side on my channel, the people to vote for
Yeah,
their album of the year on the channel. So I did like a ranking,
yeah,
points. I asked them to name top five for each
yeah.
of them, and I did a calculation of points. And for the community on this channel, Iotunn came number two. Number
Amazing,
two album of the year.
amazing.
Blood Incantation being their first, and
Yeah,
Iotunn being their second. It's totally the inverse with me. Blood Incantation 2 and Iotunn number 1.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
congrats,
But
man.
I see a lot of mentioning of kinship and blood incantation everywhere, and yeah, just a lot of music being released this year. So
That was an
yeah,
incredible year. Incredible
yeah,
year.
yeah,
If it was not for Blood Incantation, I think more people would have named Iotunn than number 1. But it's true that
yeah.
Blood Incantation was.
I think it's a combination because personally, for me, I see both Iotunn and Blood Incantation making two of the best albums I've heard this year, and I think Blood Incantation are just quite a lot more and longer into their career.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of they have a bigger platform to throw their album out on, you know. But I've listened to the album a couple of times, and I really enjoy it. So
You enjoyed it? Yeah.
yeah, totally. I think it's it's progressive death, spacey weirdness,
Yeah.
and that's
It
it's a lot of things that I love about music is what they do. So absolutely like that album. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally innovative. I think that we can say it's an album that has marked the metal industry forever. I think it's because it's really so original by mixing so much stuff and
Yeah.
bringing it together. I think they did a great job. We have a question from Stefan SML asking you a question. What bands were you playing when you learned guitar and forged your playing style?
Oh yeah. Well, most importantly, actually, I would say that for the first 5-6 years of guitar playing, I only played classical guitar. So yeah, I don't know. Like there's a classical guitar componist who is called Villa-Lobos, who I played a lot, and Albinez, and that defined my guitar playing very much, and how I love music, and also how I express music when I did myself. Um, when I got into electric music, I think it's very like so many others. Some of the greats in classic rock music, like Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and so on, has meant a lot. And also, I would say Metallica, of course, and yeah, Randy Rhoads, J.G. Lee, those big Ozzy Osbourne guitarists, Tony Iommi. Yeah, so a lot of the biggest, you know,
Classic. Yeah.
and combined with 5-6 years of only playing classical music. And something that I've always done and still do to this day is when I'm practicing guitar and I need to have a let's say a break from technique number 1, 2, 3 something. I really like to just find some standard blues backing tracks and just play blues guitar.
Okay.
So yeah, different stuff.
Different stuff, and we see what's the result of all that, man. It's crazy. When
Yeah, and I have to mention also not in my early days, but I just a guitarist that I'm very inspired by these days is John Petrucci, who I experienced
okay.
a month or two ago, and I met him personally as
Yeah,
well.
I saw your pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw the Dream Theater show at like 3 meters distance from John Petrucci. I stood there for 2.5, 3 hours and just watch him and Mike Portnoy go totally nuts. And yeah, so I'm very inspired also since that concert at the moment.
Yeah, but now you're going to play in their yard as well now, huh? Because you are part of their family now. Huh? You are soon to be part of
Yeah.
their
Let's
family.
see.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
you now. Everybody knows you. So we have Frederick asking you, what are your inspirations for you and the band when you write your songs? Personal things or books that you have read, etc., etc.
I think it's a combination of always searching for new original music and listening and always keep on listening to the music you love is also very inspiring. I think I can listen to an album today that I've listened to for 20 or 25 years, and all of a sudden it comes in a new light and means something completely new and inspires me in a new way. So in that way, it's about discovering new music, but also constantly rediscovering all that great music that's been there for many years. For me personally, I'm really digging into a lot of classical symphonies. I've done that for quite many years. I've listened to a lot of classical music, but at the moment I'm also like I need to do it even more. And books always inspired by what we read in general in the band. For me personally, it means a lot. Um, and I think perhaps one of the most inspiring thing, which defines how we write music in Iotunn is that we get very inspired by our travels when we trek in nature. We've
Okay.
been So when we create music, we want to tell stories that in some way can mirror those big wonders you just can't describe when you stand in the middle of a mountain range or something. We try to get that into the tones to create that big cinematic, atmospheric wonder, hopefully.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, a
that's
combination of many things. Again, yeah.
that's actually the word that correspond, I think, the most now to your music, because your music has become really more cinematic. That's the word that you use, and it's true. It's really when there's those really those moments, you know, and like for example in Twilight, or even in the opening track, which is my personal favorite, the opening track, man, it's just crazy. It's really cinematic, you know. You have to transport that music, and as you said, you know, imagining you traveling and seeing really amazing stuff with these sounds, you know, in your ears. And it's really music that really, you know, gives you goosebumps, you know, when you listen to it. It's really
Mm.
cinematic, you know. It's really the word that can best describe it. It's crazy.
That's good. That's what we're trying to do. So that's very good to hear.
But especially that you live in Denmark, so in all those northern countries, you live amongst the nature. You know, it's not like here in Belgium, I mean, or in France. You know, it's totally different. That's why I also decided to relocate myself in the northern countries, because it's to
Yeah,
be close to the nature. And I know that for all Scandinavians,
Norway is crazy beautiful. I've been to
oh
Norway I
yeah,
think 12 or 13 times, and it's just if I weren't a Danish citizen and so on, and because that also means a lot to me, but I could easily see myself as a
in Norway,
Norwegian. Yeah.
yeah. But Denmark is really close to
Miguel,
Norway, no? It's
I have to get my charger. I'll be back in 1 minute.
no problem, no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks.
Est-ce que vous suivez, les gars, si jamais, parce que là, je lui parle en anglais, donc si jamais ça ne va vraiment pas, dites-le moi et puis je ferai un petit résumé en français, hein, parce que c'est pas facile de l'écouter et en même temps de vous traduire, quoi. Donc si jamais il y a quelque chose que vous ne comprenez pas, n'hésitez pas à le dire. Ne demandez-moi de traduire si jamais ça va vraiment pas, quoi, hein. Donc Stéphane, je note ta question pour la suite.
All right.
So we have a lot of questions now. Stefan, SML59, who is asking you a question. Can you tell us what are your favorite
Yeah.
albums in 2024 or those past 4 years? Your favorite album this year, favorite albums, plural, this year or over the past 4 years? If you can name really some albums that are really, you know, that have really marked you.
Yeah, I can try.
There's so much, I know,
uh,
yeah.
I think my favorite album this year is the new album by Ivor.
By?
a Faroese singer. Yeah, she's very famous. So, but she's made a record called N, I think. Um, yeah, I've been listening to that one very much. It's yeah, talking about the atmosphere and just flying away. That Ivor record is just so beautiful and stunning, and yeah, it's a very 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 good album. Yeah, and of course more into the metal, I would say. I have a good feeling about our own album, but you know, I yeah, I'm really really proud about Kinship, but I've enjoyed listening to yeah, Blood Incantation, of course. Cannon Fever, I listened to
Oh yeah, they are good. They are
a
good.
couple of
Yeah, yeah.
times. I think that's a kick-ass album as well.
Yeah, and the guy of Cannon and Fever Noise, I met him personally. He's a super nice guy, a guy as well.
Yeah,
He's
cool.
great. He's really good,
And
really
I
cool.
really, really, and that's both the last two Judas Priest records. I just think are very, very like something I really love about metal music is when it's just when it has that bright, clear, right in your face energy to it.
Okay,
That old school heavy metal energy, and I think Judas Priest sound very, very inspired,
okay.
and I really like their new album.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's an album that comes out of of lot of rankings on YouTube. A lot of people are mentioning the new Judas Priest album. Me personally, it's not my cup of tea, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
apparently it's
No, but I'm a huge Judas Priest fan, so that would be. But yeah, I actually think they're writing music that has a very high level, and and that's also inspiring to see people that's been in the business for so long still having that spark,
yeah.
and the spark is present on their latest album. And I listened to um, yeah, I think that's probably Cemetery Skyline.
Ah, it's the new project
Yeah,
from what's
I
his name?
yeah,
Um,
Stanne
the
from
guy
Dark
from
Tranquility sing.
Tranquility. Yeah, right. Michael
Yeah,
Stanner. Michael
Mikael
Stanner. Yeah,
Stanne.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, I don't think the whole album is totally up there, but it's really really good songwriting, and it's really just good melodies and very nice singing also. Yeah, I enjoyed that
Sounds.
one, and just heard the new Marilyn Manson album the other day, and I thought, yeah, that's fucking rocking.
It's not bad, huh? It's not bad. It
No,
is
no, and
really
it's
it's really
very
back
very catchy.
to the era of the era of what's the name, the Antichrist Superstar, and everything is back to the roots.
Yeah,
It's I think it's not
yeah,
really not bad. But I have one question. Did you listen to, and
yeah.
if yes, if you did, what do you think about it? The new Swallow the Sun album.
The new what?
Swallow the Sun. The
I
Finnish.
haven't heard it. I haven't
You
heard
haven't
it.
heard it? Okay.
I've seen that it divides people a lot. Yeah.
Oh yes. Personally, it's my biggest disappointment in music ever.
Oh wow.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, they really took another direction. It's really more poppy. It's more light, less dark. It's not Swallow the Sun anymore. So I was just curious to get
All
your
right.
opinion on it. But just
Yeah.
drop me a message when you listen to it. Drop me a message and give me your impressions because I'm really curious to see what you think about it.
Yeah, I will. I will. I hope it's okay. I just look up because I always make like lists and so on, and my brain is shit when it gets past 8 p.m.
Yeah, especially
But
that you are such a busy man now. So
Yeah, that's a lot at the moment.
We have Antoine.
But
Antoine is saying, "Hi Jesper, and thanks a lot for this album, masterpiece.
yeah,
One of the best for me this year." We have we have Freda
yeah. Thank you for the
saying,
comments.
we see Judas Priest, which is a fantastic play. Iotunn there, oh my god, yeah, but we want to be, we want Iotunn to be everywhere, basically. So it's gonna be
Yeah, we
complicated.
agree then.
Yeah, yeah, we want you everywhere,
uh,
man. But you will.
yeah, that's awesome.
But
Yeah, and
I will
we
be. I'm really proud because I will be amongst the people who had the chance to see you in a very small venue with 150 something people and talking to
yeah,
you, you know, and I'm just part of it, so I'm really proud of it. Since day one,
yeah,
I
yeah,
was there,
yeah.
so don't ever forget me. I was there since day one.
I promise. I
Okay,
promise.
okay.
But yeah, I think I've mentioned.
Jesper, c'est moi qui ai planté ou c'est chez lui que ça a planté? Ah oui, alors si dans la même soirée, tu as Iotunn et Amferd, alors là, ce serait le top, hein. Mais est-ce que Jon pourrait faire deux shows comme ça dans la même soirée? Peut-être dans un festival sur plusieurs jours. Jesper, we don't hear you anymore. I don't know if you can hear me, but you seem off. On va lui poser la question si on arrive à le revoir, si c'est prévu qu'il fasse un show avec Iotunn et Amferd sur la même soirée, ce serait top. Ouais, il est plus là. Oui, à mon avis, il va revenir. Il a dû avoir un bug de connexion. Il va revenir, je pense. Le voilà, je crois. Ah, he's back. Yes, you're back.
Yeah, sorry. My wow, this fucking technique,
Ah,
man. You know,
because you know it's Belgium, Denmark, so there's quite a few kilometers. So
it was my phone that said I'm too warm now to do anything like emergency. So I ran out in the cold, and then now I'm back.
okay, good, good, good. We have an interesting comment from Frederick, who is asking if it's possible to have a night, a show, or a festival with both Iotunn and Amferd.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's actually when we are at festivals or like meet up with both members from Hamfert and Jotun. It's been we've been talking about it, but it's always been also just like half for fun, you know. But I don't think Yeon is up for it because or a full set with Jotun.
It's
He's
not the same mood. It's not the same mood.
yeah, and it's also like it's hard for his voice to have a full show and then go out and get a bit cooler and then have to go. I don't know. Perhaps I won't say never, but I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
but
not.
yeah, because it's not the same kind of voice, the same kind of mood on stage and everything. Amford
No,
is
no.
something really down, you know. So
But of course it would be quite special to do. But I don't think so. But let's see. Perhaps sometime.
and I had a person on my community that said that he went to see Amford recently.
Yeah.
I think it was in France recently, and he actually met with Jon, saying that he's so nice, so nice. He talked to him and everything, and he said the same thing. He said, "How can a guy so small and so skinny, uh, how can a guy like him be able, you know, to have such a kind of voice, you know,
Yeah.
such
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
really down and high
It's
and you
both
know."
Yeon is a very like down to earth and polite guy and so on. So it's just amazing to that this soul can just pour it out in such a manner. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
think I think he's one of the best vocalists at the moment. You know,
Yeah,
he's
personally, I
amazing.
think I've always, since the first time I listened to Dimmy Borgir from back when Vortex uh, was a part of that, uh, he's always been my point in the horizon of what kind of singer I could dream of someday when I was to create a metal band. And yeah, and I think Yeon is totally our generations, both like, because Vortex is so mystical and has this clearness that is very, I think, of, and I see a lot of people mentioning that, and I both agree, and it makes me happy that he's also a Bruce Dickinson. He can sing
Yeah,
that big classic metal uh,
yeah, yeah,
epic
yeah. So,
vocals. So it's crazy, you know.
yeah, because he can go up, he can go down, he can go like, he can go put his voice in any direction,
Yeah,
and it stands there. And yeah, it's
I I forgot an album
ah,
from
yes, yeah.
2024. I really
Which one?
really love the new Borgnagar album as well.
Yeah, it's
Fall.
good.
Yeah,
It's good.
but their latest True North album was that's still one of my, I can't get enough of that album.
Okay,
But that's
okay.
I think that's from 1920 something. But yeah,
I don't
Borgnagar.
remember. Yeah, but the latest one is good as well. But what did you listen to the new Tribulation?
Not yet, but
Not yet.
I heard a lot of good things about that one.
Oh yes, I love it. It's actually my number three,
Yeah, okay.
actually. So Iotunn is number one, Blood Incantation number two, and Tribulation in number three. And I'm really surprised because it's very goth.
All right.
They took really the direction of goth rock, but
Yeah.
they do it so well, man, so
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
And the
I have
vocals
to
are so
listen to that
perfect.
one.
Oh, it's very good. Can you drop me a message, because I'm really curious when you will listen to Tribulation and Swallow the Sun? Drop me a message. Give me your impressions. I'm really
Yeah,
curious
yeah,
to
yeah.
have
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
impression of a professional. Uh, Okay, we have Stefan who is making jokes with another on the chat, but it's not
That's good.
it's not translatable in English. It doesn't work. So
There's someone
let's
who, Freda, who writes, Prækestolen, I've been to fantastic place and understand places like that. Do be inspiration for sure. That's I've actually not been to Prækestolen in Norway, but yeah, big Norwegian nature is the best inspiration.
it's all over the place. Even in Oslo, the capital,
Yeah,
you take 15 minutes of the subway and you are in the nature, in the wild.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
uh, it's why I love this city. It's crazy. It's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
there's someone who mentions the halo effect as well.
The
I
Halo
haven't
effect,
heard.
but they are coming back already with a new album next year.
Yeah, and I listened to. I really enjoyed the. Was it the first single from the new album? I think it's a very, very like melodic death Gothenburg classic vibe.
Yeah,
But you know,
it,
when
it's
when 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 that sound is made in a great way, it's just one of the most enjoyable like spheres of sound to be in. I think I've listened to yeah, In Flames and Dark Tranquility and so on since I was, yeah, long back.
yeah,
So
from the
so and
Gothenburg melodic
yeah,
death metal classic. So yeah,
and I
they
really
try to
think,
bring back the soul
yeah,
from
exactly,
Gothenburg, I
and
think.
and
From
they
yeah.
still do it in a very like I think a very fine way in getting a modern present touch to that sound. March of the Unheard, is it the title track then? Yeah, it is. But March of the Unheard, that single from the Halo Effect, I really think is awesome as well.
That's the new one, no? That's the
Yeah,
new
yeah,
one
yeah,
from yeah, from the one coming in 2025.
yeah.
We have Stefan asking who composes first. Every band member bring a demo, or you jam together, or do you have other process?
Yeah, in general, we have a quite, we I think 98% of the time it's my older brother and myself who writes the whole composition and all the layers of the guitars. Also, if we want solos in the song, we present a demo for a solo. And after that, when we're satisfied with the whole guitar arrangement, we send it forward to the rest of the band, and then this whole collective creative process begins. So guitars first, and
So
then
guitars
everything,
first.
and then everything goes nuts from there. Uh,
and
yeah,
and another one of your band that has gone completely nuts in your band this year on this album. It's
yeah,
Bjorn, man.
yeah,
Bjorn
yeah, yeah,
on the drums. I sent him a message directly when I listened to the album the first time. I said, "Man, what did you eat?"
yeah. But yeah,
It's just wild on this album. It's wow.
yeah, it's very very easy to work with Björn, because when my brother and I are done with the guitars and we send it to Björn, who has his own studio,
This is an old school.
it's
Okay.
always like a matter of, from he listens to the whole guitar arrangement, it's a matter of a week or two or something. Then he has made a composition for the drums, and sends it to us, and we always end up using very much of what he comes with. And that's something that's very nice in Iotunn, is that what people bring to the table, we most of the time we end up using on the album, and that counts for Kinship as well as Access All Worlds. So yeah, we we have a good time creating music, and
Yeah.
it's not hard for us. It's very much fun, and just yeah, it's very fun to really try to push your borders, and do everything you can to make things from start to finish as good as possible.
And I remember when we met back in 2022, when we were on the side after your gig, we were outside having a couple of drinks together.
Yeah,
And I think it was Eskil, or no, I think it's Bjorn, who, made me listen to the first type of, drumming recording for the next album that he said back in 2022. You remember
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
moment
yeah.
when he made me listen to the drums for a
Yeah,
song on the
you
next
you
album.
listened to the demo that became Earth to
So
Sky.
it was Earth to Sky. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. That's why I wanted to know, because I didn't remember. So I wanted to
yeah.
ask you the question. What was the song
Yeah,
that?
I remember that.
It was Earth to Sky. Okay. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was totally wasted, and I was like, ah,
yeah.
that
It
was a
was a
nice
good
moment.
evening.
It's still on my video. So yeah, it's great memories, man. Great
There's
memories.
someone who writes that she will. Yeah, I can't see the picture, but I will phone Rob Halford to sing on your next album. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So, sorry, what?
Yeah, perhaps a duet, a Yeon and Rob Halford duet. That would be insane. Yeah, and then okay.
Sometimes the addition of drums can make you change the guitar parts. I think possible to have a new album from you this year.
Oh,
That's
well, I
gonna be
can
a
tell
little
that
short, man.
we're writing on the next one.
You're already writing the next one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think my brother and I took the first steps on that a year ago. But
Wow.
of course, we've been very, very busy with finishing Kinship and making music videos and releasing Kinship and interviews and concerts and everything. So, but we have, yeah, we're writing the new one.
But you can say it will be like the same chronology, like 2021,
No,
2024. So that makes 3 years. So can you say it
well,
will be by 2027, or maybe it will be earlier, or can you
it's
already do you have
absolutely
already plans?
our goal to what it's been 3.5 year, I think, between Access and Kinship.
Yeah.
So I really hope it won't be more than that. So
Okay.
that will be 27.
2027,
Yeah,
2028. Yeah.
yeah,
2028.
27.
Yeah, that's good.
But
That's good.
yeah, we can't
An
tell.
album every 3 years, it's good. It's a good timing. Good
Yeah,
timing.
yeah.
But yeah, man, it's for me, it's really when I hit the play button and I listened to the intro of the first track, I knew that it was gonna be a masterpiece. Just
Yeah.
hitting the play button, and I was, to be perfectly honest, I was really scared because when I listened to the first tracks that you published on YouTube before the release of the album, I mean, like the first the first track that you put back month and month ago, the very first one, which was.
We put out Mistland in 24.
Mistland, yeah. I said, "Oh, it lacks a little bit of growls," and I had the impression that Iotunn was taking the direction of maybe putting less growls and maybe 100% of clear vocals, and I was really, really scared. I said, "Please, don't take that direction." And when I listened to the album, I was, "Ah, thank God."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's quite a lot of great extreme vocals.
But I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I think your sound is lower than before.
That's weird. It should be the same.
That's better. That's better.
Okay. That's
So,
SML59, right? Sometimes the addition of drums can make you changing the guitar parts, I think, and that's a good point. And that counts both for.
we can't hear you. We can't hear you again.
Really? Hello?
Ah,
That's weird.
now you're back. Now you're back.
Okay.
Yeah, because SML is a musician himself. He's playing in a band, so that's why he have
Ah, that's awesome.
question
But
more.
I yeah,
Yeah,
he's totally correct. And it also happens a lot that we if you have a riff and there's a certain fill coming in or a certain feel in the drums or something, then we change how we play the rhythm or lead or both. So there's a lot of that, how the different instruments impact each other, and that's very important, I think, to give yourself a lot of time to really get into those details. So really listening to, okay, what does the drums add to the music and what does it tell the guitars to do, and vice versa, to have that dynamics in the writing process, I think is very important.
yeah, good, good, good.
Yeah.
Jai is asking because that person doesn't speak English, so I'm gonna translate. Which track on Kinship are you the most proud of, personally?
Mm. Yeah, all of them, but I'm a song like Mistland is a song I've had in my head for quite a lot of years. So that's a very like personal.
Okay,
Um
so Mistland.
yeah, Mistland, but also like Earth to Sky was a song I had a good feeling about during all the whole writing process. But in some way, it just got an extra layer when we finished it. When I sat and heard the master of that song, it really blew me away. Uh, and I'm still quite high on Earth to Sky.
Move to
Uh,
Sky as well. Yeah, yeah. But I
yeah,
think it's the most energetic. It's the
yeah,
most angry track on the album. So yeah,
yeah.
it was very, and
And
also
of
the
course, as a like a classical, a lover for classical music and a classical guitarist and so on, I've dreamt writing Iridescent Way also for many years, and
The
to have that,
acoustic guitar. Yeah.
yeah, to have that one on this album, I just think is amazing, and I think it suits the album perfectly, and this was the album that we could do such a song on. So I'm really proud of that one as well. But yeah, your favorite Kinship Jack is that's
Oh,
we
it's
wrote on
great.
that song for more than 4 years. So
4 years on that song.
yeah, so there's put a
Wow.
lot of time into that one, and I think it's a prog metal crazy song. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a crazy song. For
yeah.
the intro track like that, just the track itself is just, Donc, Jai, pour te résumer, en fait, donc son morceau préféré, dont il est plus fier, donc je sais pas si tu as compris un petit peu, en fait, c'est Mistland, parce qu'ils ont travaillé 4 ans sur ce morceau-là, et il disait aussi donc qu'il était fier aussi du morceau à la guitare sèche, à la guitare acoustique, qu'il avait vraiment, c'est un morceau qui avait vraiment sa place à cet endroit-là sur cet album-là, donc il était fier de ça, mais en gros il était fier de tout l'album, quoi, voilà. Jesper, as a fan of the Priest, what of the Priest? Ah, Judas Priest, I guess. What do you think of Nostradamus album? Is asking Antoine.
Nostradamus.
Yes.
That's actually one of the albums I haven't heard at all, but
Okay.
I've heard that it there's a lot of different views to that album. So I'm very into. Who's asking?
It's Antoine.
Yeah, let me know what you think about it, and yeah, and I have to check that album out. That's not good enough, you know. But yeah,
Freda saying
so much music to dive into. So
exactly. We can follow anymore. This year was totally crazy. I think it was one of the biggest year this year. 2024 was crazy. Freda saying first listen, first song Kinship brought tears. I can say that has not happened a lot ever before. It's the same for me. When I listened to Kinship LA Jack, the first track, I had literally goosebumps all over my body, and I was saying, "Wow, we're gonna be for a trip, man." And I think it remains my personal track. This track is just amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
It's just amazing. Frederick is saying on the next. He is asking on the next album, will you sing in their native language, in your native language on a track or on the
yeah,
album?
you know, Jon is from the Faroese Island,
Yes.
and sings Faroese in Hamfert, but also talks Danish. And the rest of us is from Denmark and talk Danish. And I think we talked about having one song in Danish at some point during the kinship years, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I'm quite open to it. I think, and yeah, I my guess would be that it's not an idea that anyone in the band would say, "Oh, we shouldn't go there." So I perhaps,
So it's a
but
possibility. It's a
it's
possibility.
a possibility. Yeah, I
But
think so.
but but the language in Faroe Island and Denmark is two different languages.
Yeah.
I thought it was Danish that was spoken in the Faroe Island.
No. They have an
Okay.
amazing. Lots. I think 80% of the Danish language can be tracked to the Germanic line of language. So that's south, Germany and so on.
Yeah.
And of course, there's some Old Norse language in Danish as well, but Faroese language is very much more close with the Old Norse language.
Okay.
So yeah, it's amazing when Jeon talks with his friends in the phone or when we're together and so on. I can understand some of it,
Ah,
because
just some of it.
yeah.
Okay.
It's an amazing language.
Okay, I didn't know. So you see, I absolutely
Yeah.
didn't know. To reply to your question about the album, what was the name? Nostradamus. Antoine is saying you need to listen to it.
Yes.
He's
Well,
saying
I
that
can tell
it's
that
rock best vocals.
I just added the album to my listen to list, which I always use when I'm in the mood for new music.
For
So
new
I will,
music.
yeah,
We are always in the mood for new
yeah,
music.
it happens a lot.
Jai, asking you, do you have some specific musical influence that you could how to translate that? Qui pourrait soumettre à la musique de Iotunn? That you could add to the Iotunn music. Do you have you personally some particular musical influence that you could put
Which I could add to the
add in the
Iotunn
Iotunn?
universe.
Yes, yes.
I think what I really really love about being in this band is that I feel that the frames in this band uh, have no limits. So what my experience is whenever we are finished with an album is that all that I could dream of musically to put into an album has happened, you know. So that's a great satisfaction and like yeah, just a very like as a musician a very grateful feeling of feeling complete when you're done with one album. I think something that we really search for a very a more organic touch to our sound with kinship, and I think something I can feel in this beginning of the process with album 3 is that the that pure energetic metal metal energy. I write a lot of like energetic metal riffs these days. So I think I would like to turn up the knob in some songs with, you
Yeah,
know, the energy of Earth to Sky. I would like to have more of that on the next one.
more of that on the next one. Okay.
Yeah, but the if you view our music as a mountain range, I always seek to make the valley steeper and the tips, the mountain, you
Higher,
know,
higher.
the mountains higher and higher. So I
Yeah.
want musically, I want always to expand how far we can take the dynamics of the music.
So you mean really to have these roller coasters,
Yeah, and
from
also it's a matter of dynamics in that sense, but it's also a matter of how much daring do you put into your work with the compositions. How much do you how open-minded can you be to make transitions within the songs that are really really interesting, that just blows the listener away, going yeah. So but some more like high energy metal is one of my first wishes, I think, for the next one.
Well, I think on kinship, I think it's already mission succeeded, huh? Because I mean, from the goosebumps that you bring from the beginning to the end, I mean, it's a specifically on an album that long because it
Yeah,
surpasses an hour and 10 minutes, So to keep the attention of the auditor for
yeah,
70 minutes,
yeah,
it's really a big challenge because you have so many albums that you just lose the interest because it's too long.
yeah,
But it's the second time that you put up a long album, and each
yeah.
time the auditor keeps their attention,
Yeah,
until
I
the
think
end. So it's
we actually talk quite a lot about how long our albums should be, because with Access there was some, but the main thing is that 9 out of 10 who listens to a music always experience time differently than it actually is, and that's something that tells us that we are on the right path with the music. Um, so in that sense, in that experience of time, you can take 10 minutes of the album, because personally I think when I listen to albums, if you see it as a good dinner, you have to have the right amount of food. You don't want to overeat and feel sick, or "Ugh, that's a lot."
Yeah.
And I think that's often between like 40 until perhaps 57,
50. Yeah, yeah.
57, 8 minutes or something. So taking an album to 68 is a lot, and there's a few critics who put a lot of weight into that, but like almost everyone says what you say. You can just take off those minutes because you experience the album differently, and that's and for us it's hard to make an album that is 40 minutes, you know. And
It's short.
if
Yeah.
the same time experience is there, then a 45-minute album with Iotunn feels like 35, and that's too short. It's only Slayer who can, you know, thrash away for half an hour, and you feel like, oh, that was perfect.
Yeah.
But not with our music, I think.
Because your music has so much to tell, and you have so many directions that lead the auditor, you know, from a
Yeah,
track to another. I think it's impossible to summarize it in 40 minutes. I think your music doesn't fit for 40 minutes
yeah.
because it's
It
too
needs more.
short.
Yeah.
You need more time. Yeah, you need more time. So we can say that Iotunn will remain on producing albums that are past the hour. I think it's
I
your
think that there's a
signature.
very great chance that the next one will be 60 plus as well. Yeah.
60 plus as well for the
Yeah.
next one. Good. And please, please, Grouse still there?
There will be growls. That's also for
Ooh,
sure.
that's also for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
well,
Because
well,
that's
I,
my
I,
biggest.
I can't guarantee it. Perhaps I will meet Jön here in January when we play our next concerts, and he will say that it's only spoken word on the next one. So I can't tell, you know, but yeah, I think the chances are good.
And we have several questions to end up the interview. We have several questions. I just have a last one for me, and then we move to the last one on the chat.
Yeah.
The last questions I have for you is: are you playing Kinship Elegiac live in your shows?
The song.
Yeah.
Well, I really can't tell which ones we are
Okay,
going to
you can.
choose because there's a
Okay.
bit of, you know, a hype going on.
Okay.
But there's 8 tracks on Kinship, and I can tell that we will play at least. Then we'll keep it at that. At least play 5 of those in January
Five of those. You mean five of the
from
new
Kinship.
album
Yeah.
of Kinship? Okay. And okay. So I believe your sets will be longer than the sets uh, from
I think
when the
these Danish headliner gigs we are playing in January will be our longest sets to date.
okay. And now we're in 20 minutes. Let me guess.
Yeah, even more, I think.
Even more. An hour and a half. Oh my god. Where do I sign? I can't wait. I can't wait to see you, man. We have finally the last question on the chat. Stefan is asking the main difference between Iotunn last album and Blood Incantation last album is that influence are more melted and less obvious in your music, more digest, so to speak. Is it expected? Or is it natural without anything special in mind?
Yeah, I'm just reading it again to make sure I understand.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what does he mean here.
Yeah, between our last album and Blood Incantation is that influences are more melted and less obvious in your. Okay, so yeah, I think what he says is those transitions we're talking about. When you hear the new Blood Incantation album, it's not as melted with the transitions as on our album. Uh,
Est-ce que tu peux clarifier, Stéphane, parce qu'on ne comprend pas bien ta question, s'il te plaît.
I can
Uh,
try if I understand it rightly. I can.
I, I'm asking him to clarify what he asked
Yeah,
because it's not
okay,
really
that's good.
very
That's
clear.
good.
In the meantime, Freda is asking 70 minutes. By the way, that is too long for one LP. Yes, because one LP
Yeah.
it's like 45 minutes, so it's each time two LPs actually.
Okay, he says I understood it, and
Okay.
yeah, I think I would personally say that I think he's right because uh, the transitions in Iotunn, we try to, again, going back to the classical music, if you hear a symphony by Sibelius or Edvard Grieg or Dvorak or any one of those very, very great classical components, some of the most amazing thing about great classical symphonies are the transitions. You can again, talking about nature, you can almost feel a river during the transition, or the wind or something, when you hear a good transition in classical music. And that is something we really try to do in Iotunn, because that's also how you experience great nature, you know. That's not like, oh, that's a weird transition or something. If you look at wild, beautiful nature, it's just fluid in its transitions. And that's something we try to integrate in the music very much. I also think it's, you know, there's it's more there's some very extreme changes on the Blood Incantation album, which can feel
Can say that, yeah.
which can feel very like not melting together. I see that, but that's also a way of making transition that you can say melts, but it has such a huge surprising impact on your experience that it's like being thrown into a new solar system or something, like in an
Exactly,
instant,
exactly.
you know. And
Yes, yes,
that's
yes.
also a piece of art to write such transitions. But yeah, I think the transitions in Jotun are perhaps a bit more melting in its feeling.
It's more atmospheric.
Yeah, yeah.
Atmospheric than
But
yeah.
I love both. So yeah,
Yeah, because on Blood Incantation in the beginning when he is really growling, you know, with these death metal vocals, and then it just goes like in prog rock 70s style, just like that, you know, from a second
yeah,
to another. You say, what the fuck is happening, you know? And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like that all along,
And I
and
love
it's
that because
crazy.
that's just the band telling the world we can do what the fuck we want.
They are smart men as well. They are really, really smart men. Wow. So Blood Incantation wants the first listening, but your tune reveals itself later.
Ah, that's a
Yeah, I
good
think.
thing.
Yeah, but this guy is a musician, so I think he has more. He
Yeah,
had
thank
a
you,
different
man.
approach of the music. So
Yeah,
well, that's everyone. If you have a last question, if somebody has a last question for Jesper, because it's already past 9, so I know that
yeah,
Jesper is very busy. So guys, if you have one last question for him before we hang up. In the meantime, thanks a lot, Jesper. It's been really difficult
yeah,
to make it, but
yeah. But
uh,
it was
I
a
hope
big,
we meet in Oslo next year.
of course, and
Uh, Grab a beer.
yeah,
Thank you, Jesper. I have to go to bed. Jesper, remind to hear Nostradamus
yeah.
again.
I will.
Can't wait to hear your next masterpiece. Have a good night. Well, guys,
Yeah.
that's
Good night.
the last word, the final word for this interview. So thanks a lot for joining us,
Yeah. Thank you.
and thank you guys for being there and asking the questions. I know that Iotunn has marked, you know, the community a lot this year again. So you
Yeah,
made
that's
it
amazing. We
2021,
appreciate it.
2024. So we're waiting for you for your next banger. And
Yeah.
in the meantime, well, again, thanks a lot and wish you the best for the gigs this summer
Thank
in the
you.
festivals. I know you're going to have a great time. And I count on you to meet you in Oslo when you're playing. I will be there. So we have
Sounds
to grab a
amazing.
beer together. Okay?
Yeah, man.
Promise?
Yeah,
Promise?
that's a deal.
Say hello to Jon Eskil,
I will say hi from you.
to
Yeah.
Jens Nikolai, your brother,
Yeah.
and to Bjorn, to everybody. Send my regards,
I
and
will.
I wish you well great days with your tune, man. And again, thanks a
Thank you,
lot
man.
for your presence. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jesper.
And thank you for the questions, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you
Bye
all.
bye.
Bye bye.